Now it's time for a panel discussion on a smart marketing operations. How can we integrate people, processes, and technology? And for that, let's welcome Dr. Waheed Baghdadi, the General Manager of Digital Media at Rotana Media Group. Waheed is an expert in marketing and investments with 22 years of experience in both private and governmental sectors. With full knowledge and experience in digital transformation, he was also a global marketing lecturer at the University of Bedfordshire. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Waheed Baghdadi. And first with us is the moderator of the session, who is Krzysztof Kowalski, the Chief Marketing Officer at YAP, an innovative digital banking app providing you with intelligent tools that give you the total control of finance. Ladies and gentlemen, Krzysztof. And now let's welcome Dr. Waheed Baghdadi. Also joining them is AlShereef Hamideddin, who is the Senior Director of Marketing and Customer Experience Design at Bupa Arabia. And lastly, we have Adeel Ahmed, the Senior Marketing Director at Nahdi Medical Co.
Thank you for the introduction. Hello, everyone. Hello, gentlemen. It's going to be a very interesting session because it's about marketing operations. So it's about making it all happen. We've been talking a lot about the vision, about the strategy, about the role of the CMO, what can happen in the future. But it's very often we think in the organizations, we faced, okay, how we do it, yes? And as the role is changing, what is the role of the marketing? How do we cooperate with the other teams? How do we make impact on the organization to make really the marketing agenda running? Yes. And I have first questions to AlShereef. In recent years, the healthy industry has gone under unprecedented situation. Yes. And the question is, what did Bupa do during and after the COVID to outcome this situation, yes? What was the organizational changes and technological changes impacting your marketing, digital marketing?
Thank you. So happy to be here, humbled as well. So it's a tough question. We agreed to have simple questions, Chris, right? Okay. So when you think about it, we faced an unprecedented situation, COVID, unexpected, and I would say we had to go for a full organization and a technology, both. I come from Bupa. We're in the healthcare sector, and to be specific, it's an insurance. And we had to look at it differently. We had to look at it is that we need to move from just being an insurance to a true healthcare partner. And to do that, you need to develop this full ecosystem, right? To be part of that full healthcare sector. If you think about it, insurance today is only one part of that, and probably is currently the worst part on the rejections, right? When we get rejection in insurance. So how could we be really part of the full experience when it comes to the journey? So when you think of the ecosystem, think of the one-stop shop, right? The one-known common concept, but more of your customers, more to the service. And it all starts with, the journey starts with booking appointments, right? You book appointments with doctors, right? If you look at back, before my days, to book a doctor appointment, you'd actually need to go to the provider, whether the clinic or the hospital. And then it evolved to be through a phone, and then gradually evolved to websites. And now you would see the different hospitals having their own different apps, right? But when you look at when it comes to health insurance, A member has only one health insurance at a time, right? It's just one. So why not have all that to one place? Right? So we started to, developing this ecosystem to be part of the journey from the start of booking appointment. So with this platform, and it's in our app, you actually book the doctor appointment, you choose a specialty, you actually pay the deductible, you actually check your pre-auth, whether it's rejected or approved. Not only that, but also you connect it to the medication. You want it to be delivered home or to work. So developing that full ecosystem, that was a full transformation change to the organization. And that's what we call the Bupa Click. So in a click, you can get that full experience. And once you have that experience, it's extremely easy to advertise digitally because it sells itself. And when we started talking about it, I think we got around 67 million impressions and more than 20 million viewerships on that. So the idea here is really developing that ecosystem that helped us to be part of the fold rather than just being a part of it.
So, Waheed, we started with marketing operations, then the digital transformation is something that it appears all the time during this event today. And we ended up again with digital transformation, yes? So this is something that the fact that post-COVID, during COVID, it all sped up, this is kind of something that came out from external, the transformation, or this is something that we need internally? And what will happen after the COVID and in the future with this?
First of all, if you want to talk about digital, we should explain what the difference between the digital itself and the technology system. If we talk about the technology or IT as a unique industry, is it the same when we are talking about digital? Of course it's not. It's similar to the architect and civil engineering. The architect, who is the guy, is design your project, your home, your shops. He's doing your plan, your strategy plan for your business development, for sales and marketing. But the IT, he's your civil engineering. He's the guy, he's building this system. So the problem is today in all organizations, they put the digital transformation under the IT department, which is a big mistake. We can't go further with the IT because it's not the same area, it's different. The digital transformation today, we are talking about sales, marketing, CRM, customer experience, business development, and so on. So everything that you need in your organization will be led and developed by your digital transformation team. That means we are looking for new education system. So all traditional educational system today in the university, we have a legal department, we have finance department. It's old-fashioned. We need now new era, new people will educate in legal, specific or specialist in digital. A lot of agreement today is not about the copyright, it's not about the digital problems. So we need to change our educational system to have new people. They are specific in digital, in legal, in finance, in marketing, in sales, before we go on. That means if we are replacing copy-pasting. We should following the digital transformation. Our
Okay, I really like what you said. It's going to, think, very interesting direction, this discussion. And now, if we could talk more about how to make this happen, yes? Because there is quite a lot of people in this room, and then we have to go back to our organizations. And I think you touched a very important point. The digital transformation or the Martech is happening in data department, IT department, customer service department. There are sometimes digital transformation departments, yes? So everybody's kind of like involved. And then what we can do, like what could be applicable, practical to drive it, to make it happen, and to make sure that our marketing perspective is the perspective, because this is the perspective that is the voice of customer, yes? So that we don't lose the customer in this transformation, yes? And this is, in fact, the question to all of you. Adeel, I know maybe you could start.
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me here. I think we need to go back to the fundamentals. And for me, as a marketeer, the objective is how can I turn every employee in my company into a marketeer? That's how you really get the broader buy-in, right? So first we need to define a purpose. So we are in the healthcare sector, and Nahdi's purpose is we exist to add beats to our guests' lives every day. We have a vast network of pharmacies. Plus now we have started our polyclinics. We are present omni-channel. So the important thing is how do we bring this purpose to life? And I think what I can do is I can throw out a challenge. We have about 1,150 pharmacies across KSA. We have thousands of pharmacists. I can throw out a challenge in this room. If you visit any Nahdi pharmacy, you pick up any pharmacist and you ask them the purpose of Nahdi, they will recall, we exist to add beats to our guests' lives every day. So once you have this one purpose that is inspiring enough and your organization is geared towards delivering it, then you get the buy-in in two ways. First thing we need to realize, and we discussed it before as well, is that we need to have sustainable organizations. First of all, who are meeting and exceeding guest expectations. In Nahdi, we call our consumers the guests. So how do we meet and exceed guest expectations day in and day out to have a sustainable business? So in terms of KPIs, we need to definitely, in order to have a sustainable business, you need strong structural financials. And sometimes in the past, especially, it used to happen that marketing was seen as a site support function. Fine, I'll create a copy, I'll throw in an ad, my management loves it, some of the consumers love it, that's the end of it. No, today we have, thanks to Martech, a lot of KPIs that you can justify every real you spend or every dollar you spend in terms of the ROI, and you can show true value that you are bringing to the company, which is why I said every member of the company can be a marketeer, and vice versa. The second set of KPIs is definitely guest satisfaction. In my past experience with P&G, we used to call it brand equity, guest perception. Here in retail as well, you can have. So there has to be a set of KPIs, which is the business, which is revenue, profit, where you can show direct value of marketing, plus guest satisfaction. At the end of it, marketeers are the custodians of the guests and consumers inside the company and outside the company. So if you're able to deliver on this one, I believe we can build sustainable value and we can get all the buy-in that is needed to definitely ride the wave of Martech as it is going.
Okay, Waheed, one more question, because coming back to you, you also mentioned other departments, and I think it's when we have marketing department, IT departments, they are kind of into this transformation, but then we also have supporting functions like finance, legal, even sometimes customer service, and are they ready to to be fully prepared with expertise to cooperate on this digital transformation, Martech, all the newest technologies? How do you see it? Right, thank you. So now into something, we discussed this today and also before, that the marketing is the leading role of the customer, yes? And the role of the marketing departments, marketing heads, CMOs is evolving. And then if we want to kind of lead this transformation, be the voice of the customer, there is one challenge to this, because when we transform, one pressure on us is ROI, and the other pressure on us is all the other stuff, yes? Because the more you are digital, then the more you are Martech, the more you interact with the customer, yes? And the question to AlShereef is, you got lots of experience, yes, also ex-Procter & Gamble, Geneva, and then like from your experience, if you go into more usage, and you create also not only bigger sales, but also more claims, yes, more issues from this situation. How to manage it? Because I think that there is quite a lot of us who are in the same situation. The more digital, the more Martech we put, the more not only ROI, but also more costs we are creating, yes? How to tackle this?
Interesting question. So, unlike other industries, right, the more I do advertising in campaigns, communication, the more members use the policy, right? And the more claims as well. So actually what happens these days is when I start doing that, my CFO calls me. You know what? Watch out, the campaign, I'm seeing the claims going up. The chief operating officer starts calling in and listen, the capacity, you need to manage the situation. But honestly, if you think about it, it's all about being targeted when it comes to on your audience. And I have like a few examples. One is we do what we call a wellness program. It's called Live Right, Hayatak Sah. And where the objective there is really being proactive and reaching to members and knowing their habits ahead before they're actually, probably there might be pre-chronic condition as well. So with that, you're able to reach them ahead before they're actually becoming chronic cases, let's say, because that's even more expensive, right? So that's one example. Another thing is to look into is, so in Bupa we have more than 12,000 pre-auths daily. We have more than 20,000 calls a day. So huge data. So with that, you could actually understand the frequencies, how often they visit hospitals, clinics, how often they take medication from a Nahdi, right? And with that, we can actually start predicting, and then you can also have targeted digital campaigns on those as well. And same thing applies for those who are already been in chronic conditions as well, where you can offer them. So really the message I want to say is here, retaining is really the name of the game. It's not just the return of the investment, because we know that it costs 5 times more to attract new customer versus retaining our existing customers.
I really appreciate it. It's very good to remember what you said when each one of us is pushed by the board or by CFO. Where is the ROI? There is more than ROI to Martech, to digital, so let's not forget about this. Moving forward, guys, into even a bit more tricky questions. So we discussed the ROI versus costs, and now if we go into another comparison, Martech digital, we all think about Web3, metaverse, all the cool stuff, social media, engagement, TikTok, etc. But there is the all good world of branches and physical presence, yes? And if you look at all the brands, if you look at customers' engagement, I personally believe that physical presence is something that will always stay, yes? This is very important. So how to manage this, and what will happen with this? Adeel?
Sure. I can tell you guys a story during pandemic, during COVID, what happened. And this is about the importance of physical presence. So during the 24-hour lockdown, everybody was locked down, and thanks God it happened for a few days. We did not have extended period, but it did happen in Saudi. And at that point in time, we had already amped up all our efforts to deliver the medications and all the home delivery, and all of those efforts we had really ramped up, because obviously suddenly the surge happened, and alhamdulillah we were ready, so we were catering to it. We really thought a large number of our guests moving from offline to online, meaning our brick and mortar stores, to online and ordering online, because obviously there was some skepticism going into the pharmacies if I'll get the COVID germs and all of that. However, what we found out was that still majority of our guests were still coming to our brick and mortar stores. When we did a study, the response that we got was they felt that probably Nahdi pharmacies, probably because of the space and the way it was there, they felt more safe going into the physical space. And that was one thing that they were doing on top of their shopping trips. If you guys recall, we used to get 1 hour to do our grocery trip. So some of the guests were even utilizing that 1 hour coming to Nahdi. The point is, they felt trusted with the pharmacists, because a lot of our pharmacists have a lot of relationships in the community, and they really felt trusted that I still need to go and talk to my pharmacist, maybe he'll give me some advice. And the fact that you mentioned on the physical space regarding the touch and feel of the product before buying, because we're talking about health and well-being, a lot of the products that we sell are high involvement as well, related to skincare, premium skincare. Having said this, yes, physical space will be there, but I think you used a word which is omni-channel. Omni-channel is about all the guest receptivity touch points that we used to even discuss in our previous days during Procter & Gamble, right? So it's about the guest receptivity touch points. It is about how do you reach your guests with the right message at the right time, where they are and responsive to your message. So if you keep this in mind, then a lot of tech, what it is offering as marketeers is opportunity. So, for example, if you're going after youngsters and they're after gaming, you go for gamification. If you're going after some wellness seekers, you go there. So we should not limit ourselves to either physical or online or one touch point or the other, but we should see where our guests are, where our consumers are, where they are receptive, and we as marketers should find a solution, offline, online, omni-channel, to reach out to them in the most effective way.
Thank you very much. Now, moving to an end of the panel, another level of challenge. We'll go into very short questions and very short answers, if I may ask you. Just to add like one more layer, Waheed, from your side. So we discussed omnichannel, we discussed ROI cost. What is else? What are the next gaps? What we will see next in the next year, for example? Thank you. Adeel, short question to you. Lots of things we discussed. I guess it will create a huge demand on skills on the market in Saudi, yes? It will create opportunities for jobs, or it will create a gap that will be a challenge? How do you see it?
I think there are huge, amazing opportunities for marketeers based on everything that is possible. I think you need to challenge the art of possible, because whatever seems not possible today, it may not be true for future, but then if you want to build sustainable organization value, you have to make sure that that you really set yourself up for a very high ambition. Just like what we are seeing in Saudi, a lot of the things that people thought are not possible are really unfolding fast. So in order to keep up with the pace, and also think about shaping your guests' expectations. How can you take your guests or consumers to the next level of expectations? I think this is the key for marketeers. Lots of opportunities, lots of new skill sets. I mean, you can keep on learning every day, and this has been so far the case even since this morning. Again, thanks for making me part of this.
Thank you very much. AlShereef, last question to you. So all these things that we discussed, they will create a lot of organizational challenge, resources, costs. What will happen with the overall ROI of the organizations, like helicopter view, strategic view? Will it increase or everything stays? It will just be different, or we will be able to increase the ROI?
So in very short, to able to improve your ROI, I think it all depends on the indicators. So I'm a very much believer in KPIs, but a believer in KPIs when it comes to the lead indicators rather than the dragging indicators. All right. So you need to be ahead of that game, right? And that's to me the most challenge. Where I really believe marketing. You should not be only ahead of the competition, but you should be ahead within the organization, whether it's digital, whether it's IT, whether it's operation. You need to be ahead of that, because with that, you'll be able to react faster, whether it's the market, whether it's a regulator change, whether it's a product change, or maybe behavior change. So that's, I would say, lead indicators that will give us a heads up on our.
I really like the conclusion, because it says that we are the key. Marketing is the key in this transformation to every organization. Don't forget about this. Please bring this to your organizations. Adeel?
Yes, I just wanted to have one final message from my side. You know, we are here in the Martech conference. I'm sure a lot of the buzzwords and the keywords will get demystified in the upcoming 2 days, even today and tomorrow as well. I just want all the marketers in this room to be paranoid, focused, passionate about what they want to deliver for their guests or consumers. And then technology, organization, your people, everyone else will play a role to deliver that passion. Don't forget the fundamental, which is you have to deliver your promise to your guests, to your consumers, and exceed their expectations. Everything else will fall in its place to deliver that passion and end state that you'll define for yourself as success.
I must say, I love this energy in this room, this marketing energy. I think it will be more dangerous than COVID spreading if we keep up this energy. It was an amazing discussion. Thank you very much. Thank you all.